If you want the Las Vegas Raiders to sign cornerback Marcus Peters, like the video, because coming up on today's show, we have some brand new news around cornerback Marcus Peters potentially joining the Silver and Black. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and today's show is presented by True Classic. If you like the t-shirt I got on, what are you waiting for? 25% off your order when you go to the link that you see below, trueclassic.com/chat, and make sure that you use promo code chat. Don't worry, I made Jeremy Chuggs put all of the right links down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. So one of the most common players when we go live, and remember, we go live every single Tuesday and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesdays, 4 p.m. for Raiders Friday Happy Hour on Friday, and we always get asked, Mitch, is Marcus Peters going to be joining the Silver and Black? Well, we got a brand new report, and according to Vic Tafer from The Athletic, the Raiders seem likely, in quotes, seem likely to sign Marcus Peters before training camp. The two sides have remained in touch since his meeting all the way back on May 15th. After the 2023 NFL Draft, the Silver and Black only took Maryland cornerback Ja'Cory Bennett in round 4 at 103, which then left a lot of Raider fans wondering, well, what exactly is the plan for this organization going forward in the secondary? But if you remember, I've been live on this show with Graphic Raider. I've been doing shows, podcasts with him on the side as well. And Graph Continue has said that a deal has been on the table between the Raiders and between Peters. He's really just trying to weigh his options. So the way I look at it is this. You got Vic Tafer reporting that it seems likely. I know Graph is very well connected with Peters in his camp, and he has said that a deal is on the table. I'm adding 2 and 2 together, and I'm going to make this one 3 just win babies, that it sounds like Peters will eventually join the Silver and Black. Now, this was a show that I did 3 months ago, it feels like, on Graph talking to Marcus Peters, and when they did this was actually at the Pro Bowl, so shit, that's even longer ago. And Graph said that I spoke to Marcus Peters at the Pro Bowl, and he made it clear to me a desire to play for his childhood team, the Las Vegas Raiders. Then on Instagram, per Raider Scout, he said that the Raiders have done research and are in discussions with other cornerbacks. One of the shows that I did a few months ago was the top corners that the Raiders could potentially sign after the 2023 NFL Draft. If you don't believe me, that link is also going to be down in the comments. So if you want to see some other top cornerbacks that the Raiders could get, but guess who's featured? It's Marcus freaking Peters. Another reason why you should hit that subscribe button, why you need to turn on those notifications, because if you would be subscribed to this show, you'll know all of the news and all the rumors around Marcus Peters. I know it's June, but there's no off days when you got that commitment to excellence. Shout out to some of the new subscribers here, Max Raider 2, Plano Pat, Key, Christina, Malik, Reed. If you haven't already joined the Raiders Report family, take a second, make sure you do so. And if you know somebody who's a diehard Raider fan, take that link down below, send it to them, because if the Raiders end up signing Marcus Peters, oh man, you better put your drinking pants on. It's going to be a party here with Chugs and I on the Raiders Report. So Peters is getting up there in age, a little over 30 years old now, coming off a season where he had 47 tackles, an interception, 6 PBUs, and we're going to break down, coming up on today's show, a lot more numbers in terms of the turnovers, the stats, and probably the most important thing, because why are we talking about this? How Peters is going to fit with the Silver and Black. If you want to be able to fix the defense, yeah, it's important in the trenches. No doubt about it. I do think adding a veteran that has been able to force turnovers, something the Raiders haven't been able to do in a very long time, is extremely important. Something that's also important, making sure that you look good. And with Father's Day right around the corner, Dad, spoiler alert, this is what you're getting. So if you want to help out Dad look a little bit better, you want to help out yourself, I rock True Classics all the time. Go to trueclassic.com/chat. Get yourself outfitted, 25% off when you use promo code chat. Father's Day is just around the corner, and it's time to find a gift that Dad will actually love. This year, give him the gift of style and comfort with True Classic. Their ultra soft, perfectly fitted tees are just the beginning. True Classic is everything you need to build a complete wardrobe, from button-downs to Henleys to polos, and their latest comfort jeans and chinos are a must-have for anyone who wants to look sharp and feel comfortable at the same time. But True Classic isn't just about clothes. They also have a line of active shirts, shorts, and joggers that are perfect for anyone who wants to stay comfortable while staying active. And if you're not completely satisfied with your purchase, they offer a 100% risk-free guarantee, easy returns. Don't forget to use promo code CHAT at trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your order plus free shipping on purchases over $100. Give a gift that Dad will actually love this Father's Day. Give him True Classic. Now, personally for me, I do recommend getting one of the bundles because then you can mix and match with a bunch of the different colors. And for me, I walk to work, and one of the things I always say when I dress up and come to work here is I want versatility and I want ease. So I can walk to work with a True Classic shirt, and then when I can go home, I can take Chuck on a walk, and then I can also go out for dinner with Alex if I want to do a dinner date. Shout out to True Classic at trueclassic.com/chat. So let's continue to look at how Marcus Peters could potentially fit with the Las Vegas Raiders if he is signed. So luckily, the Raiders actually have some sneaky depth at the cornerback position, and they signed Duke Shelley. They signed David Long Jr. in free agency already, but I think if you go out and you make a splash for Peters, he could potentially be a starting corner next to a Nate Hobbs. Now, with Las Vegas, the most interesting thing is what exactly they're going to be able to do with their 53-man roster. It would probably spell very bad things for Amik Robertson. I don't know if Sam Webb ends up making the team. Ike Brown, hasta la vista, baby. And then one of the reports that I've been, hinting at is you bring Marcus Peters in, David Long Jr. might be on the bubble, even though the Raiders signed him. From a career standpoint, Peters has always done a good job of creating turnovers, and he's always been a very active player. Last season, 1 interception. In 2021, he did not play with an ACL injury, and if you remember, he injured that ACL right before the Raiders' Week 1 game against the Baltimore Ravens, which the Raiders won in overtime. And then in 2020, 4 INTs. But you go back and you look at every single season, he is a risk taker, and you know what? Sometimes Las Vegas, it pays to roll the dice a little bit because, let's face it, you can't be dead last again in terms of interceptions. Peters then also, from a forced fumble, tackles for loss standpoint, has lost a step or two. But the biggest reason why I like the idea of adding Peters is adding that veteran. I look at last season's defense with Deron Harmon. Deron Harmon was a really good fit with this team overall, being that player coach. The year before, Casey Hayward being the veteran that he was, knowing the Gus Bradley defense like the back of his hand. It proved to be a good fit. I don't know exactly how well Peters is going to fit with Patrick Graham's system, but I know the route that this team is going with is their mentality is they want to try to force a lot more turnovers, and they're going to be aggressive, and they're going to play a lot of press man. And that's what Marcus Peters does. So, to me, I look at a lot of the signings. Duke Shelley, press man. David Long Jr., press man. Nate Hobbs, press man. Jacorian Bennett, press man. I can go on and on. They want to play a physical, gutsy, balls-to-the-wall style of defense, and that's exactly what Marcus Peters is. I will admit, though, and for me, would I be excited if they added him? Of course I would. I love going live with the nation, and anytime you get a player that's going to help out your defense, which Peters is going to help out the Raiders' defense. It's just how much is it? What I'm going to look at, though, is the tactic of how much we're going to offer him, because he is coming off a career worst year in passer rating allowed, plus missed 21 games the last 2 seasons with a bunch of injuries. Father Time is undefeated. Last season, and these are his coverage stats, he allowed a completion percentage of 64.3. He allowed 711 yards. Touchdown 7, the quarterback rating of 113.7. If he plays like that again, I obviously would be a little bit worried, but considering the fact of how much money people thought it was going to cost to get him compared to what it's going to cost now is a lot different. So at the very beginning of NFL free agency, Spotrac projected his overall value at $9.8 million. PFF projected the veteran cornerback's value at $7 million. Here's the thing, though. Peters is not going to get $7 million, and if he does, I'm going to be really ticked off at Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels because the one deal that I'm going to look at specifically for this team is Rock Ya-Sin. Rock Ya-Sin played last season with the Silver and Black and battled some injuries. But then he recently just signed with the Baltimore Ravens. The only other team that Marcus has officially had a visit with is the Baltimore Ravens, the team that he's played with. So I do think it'd be kind of funny if they swapped. But if Rock is going to sign a one-year, $6 million deal, if you're the Raiders, do I give $6 million to Marcus Peters or do I give $6 million to Rock Ya-Sin? The answer is Rock. But they decided to pass on Rock. So now what I'm saying is it better be cheaper. My question to the nation out here is this. You're going to call the shots. You're sitting down next to Dave Ziegler, and he asked you, hey, how much money do we offer Peters on a per-year basis? He's going to get a one-year deal. He's going to get a short-term deal, and I do think there's going to be some incentives involved. So how much money would you offer Peters after this YouTube ad break? You're going to get my answer. I did hint at the idea of offering him some incentives. But in terms of the money, if you're going to get Brandon Faison, he's at $3.2 million in guarantees. I could see them giving Peters somewhere around that value. I don't want to go over $4 million. But if he's able to play 17 games, if he's able to get 4 or 5 interceptions, that's more than the Raiders had the entire team last season, then I'm okay with an incentives-based deal that helps him make a little bit of extra money. We make the playoffs, hey, throw in some extra dollar bills, y'all. So one more time here, a quick recap. It is this. The report from the Athletics' Vic Tafur is the Raiders seem likely to sign Marcus Peters before training camp. And a note that we have discussed is a lot of times veterans, they don't want to do the OTAs. They don't want to do the mandatory minicamp. They've been there. They've done that. And, hey, I'll be ready to go come training camp time, which is near the end of July, right before the Raiders get ready for their preseason game. Their first preseason game is against the 49ers on August 13th. The two sides have remained in touch since his meeting on May 15th when he visited Las Vegas and had that workout. And then Graf has continued to say that a deal has been on the table since that visit on May 15th, and it could just be a little bit of a waiting game. So you got Vic Tafur's thing. You got Graphic Raiders thing. Sounds kind of weird out loud. So you had those two reports. You mash them together, and this is a big-time news here for the Raiders and Marcus Peters. But here's the biggest thing. Don't miss out. If this team ends up signing this man right here, I don't know how long the live show is going to be, but I can guarantee you one thing. We're going to be going wild, and we're going to be showing Marcus Peters how excited the nation is to have him on his childhood favorite team in the Silver and Black. Marcus, hopefully you tune in. Hopefully you all are subscribed. Don't miss out. Turn on those notifications right now.